You might think we're gonna go and follow Kenny Capriccio to Pete's Poontang Parlor, but that's not what's happening right now. I have a little bit of a surprise in store. I think social media is a great way to make things happen. And now, everything is gonna go to the next level. It's all gonna go to the next level. Alright, so we're doing a podcast now. This is our podcast. What the fuck is a podcast?
Oh, a podcast is just a thing they do where two stupid assholes sit around muttering and just fucking talking about stuff that doesn't really fucking matter at all in the grand scheme of things.
Oh, okay. That's perfect for us. That's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
I think it's good for people to just talk about things. Maybe that's the best way to solve an investigation. So maybe we should be looking at this thing in chronological order, like just the events. And maybe we could say, oh, hey, X leads to B, or whatever. I mean, it's all alphabetical. It's all in order. Everything makes sense. I think if we talk about it like that, you and I, then maybe we can solve this whole thing.
Yeah, like as long as we have an understanding of which events took place, and you know how the pieces all fit together. It's like puzzle pieces, more like the puzzle pieces than the alphabet, because I don't think you're very good at the alphabet. But yeah, that's what we need to do. We just need to talk it out.
I think that everything begins with the Zeta Reticulans, who keep coming to our planet in their little fucking flying saucers, trying to steal our plasma reserves. And this has been going on for centuries, longer than anyone here can remember. And we hate fucking Zeta Reticulans. We fucking hang them up or kill them anytime we catch them. And so this really all began on the day that a Zeta Reticulan saucer collided with one of our Sputnik satellites and crashed in the wasteland. I think that's where this begins.
I guess we could say that it sort of begins there, but it's largely irrelevant because that particular saucer crash ultimately had nothing to do with the other things that followed. It was just an ordinary Zeta Reticulan fucking saucer crash, even though it kind of wasted a lot of our time, now that we're talking about it.
I don't think we should think of things in terms of this was a waste of time or this was not a waste of time, because ultimately life is a waste of time, and therefore anything that occurs in life is a waste of time. So we probably shouldn't judge things based on that, what is that? Is that a metric? Based on that metric? It's probably more accurate, though, to say that things really began when we were sent out to capture a fugitive sex trafficker named Hombre de la Bolsa. Even though Hombre de la Bolsa turned out to be not a sex trafficker and not even really named Hombre de la Bolsa. But that is where things began, when I had to go out in pursuit of him, and then my tractor exploded.
Yeah, but your tractor exploding was also incidental because it has nothing to do with any criminality, nothing to do with any part of the investigation. Your fucking tractor exploded because you keep dumping that high-octane swill that you drink. You keep putting that in the fucking fuel tank because you think it improves your tractor's performance, and it doesn't, and it always causes your tractor to explode, and that's why your tractor exploded. So that's not really part of the investigation either, when you really think about it. Somehow, I suppose, this brings us back to the Serbians from planet Earth who have been working in tandem with the Zeta Reticulans. And they're up to something. We know they're up to something with their fucking triangles. You know, they're fucking weird little secret triangles that have been popping up over the last few years. And now we know that it's the Serbians and the Zeta Reticulans, and they're up to something. So that is a core piece of what's going on here. Whatever the truth turns out to be, it really hinges on these triangles and Serbia and the Zeta Reticulans. So let's just keep that in mind. That is core shit.
What do you call a banana who has a big fucking penis?
I don't know. What do you call him?
I don't know what you would call him.
Oh, okay.
This seems weird. I was thinking it'd be weird if there was such a thing. Like, what would you call it?
Oh, I thought you were doing a joke.
Just a thing I was thinking about. Just using my mind. Just thinking about things.
You're not doing a joke. This isn't a joke.
No, fuck no. No, it wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke. I was just wondering.
No, it just sounded like the whole
You
thing
need to wonder.
was a setup to a joke.
The universe
Okay.
is full
So
of wonder.
you're just being philosophical.
Somebody said that wisdom begins in wonder. I don't know who that was. Maybe it was a banana, like with a really big penis. Who said
About
that?
bananas. Penises. Alright, sure. Okay.
The big problem is that the Earth, most of the governments on Earth, sort of deny and suppress the knowledge of the existence of life on Mars. And that kind of empowers, the Eastern European nations that do trade with us. Sort of empowers them, sort of lets them get up to little shenanigans and all that. You ever been to Earth?
You know that I haven't been to Earth. Just like I know that you have not been to Earth. Because outside of this podcast show, like, we know each other quite well. And I know that you've never been to Earth. I've never been to Earth. And I think you're just asking the question just to make the show seem more interesting.
I think we need to mention how you tried to murder Space Byron while he was sleeping, and then his pancreas escaped from his chest during that murder attempt, and his pancreas was a squirrel, and then you had to go and get a new pancreas for Space Byron, but you were captured and held hostage by a cannibal who wanted to, have sex with you or with your organs. And I think that's worth mentioning here at this part.
Yeah, again, that's a complete tangent and has nothing to do with the investigation, in my mind. I don't think it has anything to do with this investigation. And I'm not even sure that I ever admitted that I tried to kill Space Byron. Maybe I did. Maybe there was some liquor involved, but I'm not sure I ever actually fully admitted to it. Oh God. Okay, good. Oh, thank fucking God. There's a caller. Let's take this call. Let's take this fucking call. Take the call.
Hey, hello. This is the Mars Cafe podcast show where we talk about the Mars Cafe show, which is my show, and our ongoing investigation. You're on the air on the podcast show. What's your question?
Yeah, hey, I was wondering, how come the Zeta Reticulan crash with the Sputnik is being dismissed out of hand as if it didn't matter, if it was just incidental. I don't know why. I don't know why it would be incidental, because it seems like it was a big part of the plot. I'd like to know.
I'll feel that question. I'll feel that question. I just, I don't know. Myself, looking back, I'm looking at everything we have, and I look at that, and I say, well, fuck, I don't really think the one thing had much to fucking do with the other thing. I mean, that's just what I think. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could be dead wrong. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to add up, and it doesn't seem like it amounted to anything, other than again, like to waste everyone's time, and maybe wasting people's time is kind of what's going on here.
Yeah, I kind of got to agree. I think wasting time is almost a theme here. It goes back to what I was saying before about life and whatever this all is. It's like fucking bananas and dicks. Who knows where all this is leading? I don't fucking know. What? I mean, I don't fucking know. I don't know. Let's not take any more callers. That was fucking shitty. I think this whole podcast format is really helping us to figure this whole thing out. And I guess the next part is how John Berbergerber, known as the French Master, and Zoran Markovic, who would later be called Hombre de la Bolsa, they were whistleblowers or something like that. They were going to blow the whistle on Serbia because they knew that the Serbians were in league with the Zeta Reticulans. So I guess they went into hiding when they tried to blow the whistle or something like that. And I don't really understand what happened to John Berbergerber. He went into the fifth dimension to hide or something like that. Don't really understand at all. But then Zoran Markovic came to Mars on the run, in hiding, and that's when Day Zero happened. Do you remember Day Zero? Do you remember that? Remember that thing? Day Zero, the tragedy, big crash.
Yeah, we had to work backwards. It was spacebar, and well, that's a whole other can of worms. But we know now that the Serbians, working with the organization called KAARP, we know that they infected the dreams of a young Sidonian boy named Timmy, and so through his dreams they were able to control him, and he stole his father's spacecraft because he thought he was going to space to meet Santa Claus, and the whole thing was to crash the vessel into Zoran Markovic and kill him, which is, well, it's what's the word? What's the word? There's a word for that. It's very convoluted. Convoluted is what I think. I think that's the right word. Yeah. So they used KAARP dream technology to try to crash a little boy's spacecraft into Zoran Markovic. But Zoran Markovic only got burned up, and he lived. He managed to live, and so I guess that's that. But then the other stupid bullshit, happened. Stupid things.
Yeah, that was the Day Zero tragedy. That's why we call it the Day Zero tragedy, because it was a tragedy that happened on Day Zero, which was a new day that was inserted into the Martian work week to, I guess, make us more productive. And it was a big fucking failure, especially because, there was this tragedy that happened. But it really was the starting point to, this whole thing. This whole thing. You know what I'm wondering? I've noticed we don't have pets. You ever notice that? You and I don't have pets. I don't really know anyone that has a pet. And I've been thinking about that. How come we don't have pets? I think that's something we should talk about. Maybe on a future podcast when this investigation's done. I'd like to know why we don't have more pets.
I think we don't have pets because many of us, are half animal anyway. So, like I'm a hybrid between a human and a rabbit. You're a hybrid between human DNA and something else. I think a fish, maybe. Mochi is half duck. I think we don't have pets because like so many of us are like fucking animals anyway. So why would we get something that is an animal when we already hang out with everyone who's like half fucking animal? You know? I think that's why we don't have pets. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's why we don't have pets, because it's like we're like pets anyway, you know?
I think you're being racist. I think that's racist, Emery, because we hybrids are only a portion of the population, and we also have Sidonians here, and we have displaced Earthlings here, and we have robots, and we have sex robots, and they could have pets, and I just don't follow your logic, because I mean that's racist. You should not be
It's not
racist like
racist to
that.
suggest that the humans and the Sidonians and the robots and the sex robots probably wouldn't want pets because they have to hang out with people like us all the time anyway. So, like, if you knew a person, like say Space Byron wanted a pet fucking bunny, would he get a pet bunny? Or would he just say, oh, I hang out with Emery all the time, who is like part bunny? That's what I'm saying. It's not racism. I don't think you understand what racism
I
is.
don't know if I follow your logic. Yeah.
Okay, so we're finally getting to the part where KAARP sends an agent called Tony Pepitone, and he infiltrates Air Command here on Mars, working directly for the Ministry of the Interior, and then he comes to either try to murder you while you're sleeping, or to put a bomb inside of your brain, and nothing came of that, and that's nice. But, now it's time to address the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is that our representative minister of the interior, your boss, you know, she seems to have her fingers in a lot of pies. Fingers in a lot of pies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think.
Like, she's your boss, and she's constantly having sex with you.
She's very good at having
her
sex.
father, John Berberger, the French master, is the guy who went into hiding in the fifth dimension. And then one of her co-workers happens to be a KAARP agent who tries to plant a bomb inside of your brain.
Do I know where?
So I'm just laying that out there. Just laying that out there. I just want you to sit with it just for a moment before we move to the final part of this podcast.
That's kind of a strange pickle, isn't it? It's like an elephant in the room that is flavored like a pickle flavored elephant. We're in a pickle elephant, and that I wish that could somehow relate to bananas with fucking big penises. If I'm being honest, you're kind of. I think we should mention that you're kind of a dark little bunny, right? Maybe we should talk about the part of how your ex-girlfriend is a robot head that you found in the desert and started dating, and then she became the mayor, and then she broke up with you because you're a douchebag. Her words, I think. And now she's dating a new guy, and you have a secret plan to murder him at some point.
Okay, again, like, all tangent, man. This is all a fucking tangent. And that's like private stuff. That's private stuff you're not even supposed to be talking about. It has nothing to do with any of this. It has nothing to do with Serbia or triangles or fucking any of this. And I don't know why you keep they call this like throwing me under the bus. That's what they're calling it now. You throw someone under the bus because you just want to fucking piss all over them. And you're just pissing all over me right now. And just please stop. Stop. That's a fucking tangent. Well, that brings us to Space Byron's simulation experiment, which I didn't really want to talk about, but I guess there's no getting around that. And we wouldn't know any of the things we know now if he hadn't done that stupid simulation experiment. So I guess, there's a grudging amount of thanks for that.
Yeah, I don't like talking about it much myself, but sort of lays the groundwork for where we are now. So I'm just gonna let you describe that whole thing. I wish I was allowed on the podcast show. I'm not even in the fucking situation room. I'm somewhere else entirely.
Space Byron is a deceased human over a century old. All that's left of him are these fucking putrid organs that are housed in a stage 1 sex robot body. And that gives him, a little bit of an edge. I mean, he's able to do things that most of us would consider unnatural. And so he plugged himself into the main Sabiza power grid, and he consumed more energy than the Martian civilization will consume over several generations. But he was able to have a look into the past by building a complex simulation, just to see, how things played out, like what happened, like the roadmap of everything that happened. And he was able to get a glimpse of that. He got a glimpse of what likely happened. But in doing so, he fragmented the actual universe and may have created a maxiverse, and there was time distortion, and everything got very fucked up for a while. Being alive was a very blurry experience, but now we're on the other side of it. Everything has sort of settled back into its place, and now we have a much deeper and simplified understanding of all the events that that probably occurred. So much more straightforward now, and that's that.
Oh, all right then. Let's wrap this up and get out of here. I'm fucking tired and I want to get drunk. And doing a podcast show is harder than I thought it would be. I think that podcast was pretty effective, don't you? I think
we didn't have a podcast. I keep telling you, there's no such fucking thing as a podcast. At least on Mars. Maybe someone else has a podcast somewhere in the galaxy, but there's no such thing as a podcast on Mars. I keep telling you that. You keep going on about a podcast, but that was just in your mind. It was in your mind while you're in a coma, in the simulation, in a coma. There's no such fucking thing as a podcast. We didn't have a podcast. That was all in your fucking mind. Now, fuck. Let's go to Pete's Poontang Parlor and see what Kenny Capriccio's doing. Okay? Okay, just drop the fucking podcast thing. Please.